Tick, tick. That's all these highly expensive and rare automotive parts delivered. Can't wait till Ben sees these.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Ford Capri. What I'd like to get done is that welding that we didn't do in the last episode. The bit underneath, the bit around the corner, which I'm definitely not going to fiberglass, I'm actually going to weld it. And then all the stuff on the A-pillar. This bit here. But that's a job that I'm going to start tomorrow. Today, I've got Rob's help, who's behind the camera.
Hiya.
And I've got this amazing machine. And I've been busy behind the scenes. Now, I didn't think I'd do this so fast. I didn't think I would go out and sort the ST170 engine conversion bit so quickly, but a deal came up on eBay.
It was deal of the century, let's be honest. There is some real nice kit in here.
Look at this.
Oh, it says Ford Racing, that means it's like instantly extra 20 brake horsepower, that, doesn't it?
Going to be fast. But there was just so much great stuff, including this manifold. The interesting thing with this manifold though is when I saw the pictures, I thought, oh yeah, that's just where the downpipe goes. As I've picked it up and had a look at it further, some of you may recognise that that is in fact where you would bolt a turbo to. So now I'm going to have to turbo it. There was also things like this. This is a decompression plate, and yeah, it will reduce the compression in the cylinders so I can turbo it. Loads of other nice bits and bobs.
ARP kit as well.
Oh, sticker.
Oh yes. Are they headsets?
Yeah. Dead cool. New piston rings. Loads of great gear, and also this thing here, which is the block that I'm going to use for this ST170 build. So the guy was going to do a rear-wheel drive conversion on his Sierra, and it just never happened. So he just gathered up pretty much everything he needed, bar a few other bits. And he did stuff like get CVH engine mounts for it, a CVH sump, which apparently is going to allow this thing to drop into the Capri without fouling the subframe. I've not seen that done on any of the stuff that I've read, so I guess when we lower this thing into the car we're going to find out. But if it works, it saved me tons of money. This thing I think needs a bit of a build and a bit of a look at, so I'm going to get it on the engine hoist and we'll have a look. Before I do get it on the crane to put it on the engine stand, we need to get the crane, and the crane is in the back of the truck with something else.
And guess what? The crane is now in the rain again.
So the last time I did any engine work involving this engine crane was in this truck. As you possibly heard then, It's got a big V8 in it.
Tidy.
Yeah, I had this rebuilt and put some go faster stuff on it, made it cool, and now it rips, man.
She does. She hauls ass.
She
And she hauled ass well today.
So Rob is doing an MX-5, as we discussed in the last big video that went out when I did my MX-5, which I'm really enjoying driving around. Look, there it is, dead cute.
So cool. Taking that for a little spin today. She's a sprightly little MX-5, that. Just loves going sideways, doesn't it?
It does. Unlike your MX-5, because...
Mine goes round in like loop-the-loops, you know, like when it was on the rotisserie.
your engine is there.
Yeah. Not for much longer though.
So Rob's going to help me with my engine build. I'm going to help Rob with Rob's engine build. He's just going to strip this down, clean it all up, make sure it's good, put it all back together with new bits, and make sure it's nice to put in your restoration.
Yeah, nice and shiny. Concourse is the theme of this.
Yeah.
Wish I'd never done it, but too far in now.
Right, so let's get all this unloaded, get this thing out of this truck, and get them on the stands.
There goes nothing.
Whoa! Carry on. Oh no, this is not going to work.
It's not going to work. Okay.
Tidy!
Yep. First things first.
In order to put that on there, you've got to take the big spinny bit off the back, because you're not going to be able to bolt it onto there with that on. So Rob's going to stick it on the deck and whip all that off. While he's doing that, I'm going to pull this bit off mine and try and bolt it onto my engine.
Put this on the car about three weeks before I took it off the road 10 years ago.
Nice. We're almost ready to rock and roll there. I'm all buttoned up here. I need to put this round peg in this round hole, and I could do with the lift up.
Go on then, Pat.
Just get that there.
Ready?
Yep.
3. Oh, got it?
Like a glove. Magic. Oops, there you go.
End. And spins.
Now that we're on the stand, we can get a better idea of what is actually going on here. Now, I know I wasn't going to do this sort of straight away, but it was just such a bargain, and it came with so much good stuff. Look at all these. There's about 800 quid's worth of Jubilee clips alone. And there's just lots of nice in-new packaging things, and look at this. This is a huge length of pipe. Lots of different fitments, little kit car water feed pipes, you know. And essentially there's a lot of stuff in there that I have absolutely no idea what it is. I mean, what the hell these things are is anybody's guess. But there's lots of good stuff, and I'm sure with a bit of sort of to-ing and fro-ing, we can make something that will make this go very fast, very sideways. I think I might have dented the bonnet before as well, but it's okay, we need a new one. Inside these pistons, they're all right, apart from that one feels a little bit ridgy at the bottom, middle. So they're all fine, but I would say that one maybe needs a bit of work, but they're okay. I'm hoping these engine mounts are going to help us as well, but again, not really looked into it that properly. The guy that I got this off said it was sort of just, you know, loosely put back together, so I'd have to strip it all down and put it all back together before I did anything anyway, which is fine. Can I spin this round without it falling off the stand? Lots of stuff just fell out of that engine when I turned it upside down, which is far from ideal, isn't it? So this sump, again, it's just sort of loosely held in. So we'll just have a quick look inside there. So looking at this sump as well, you can see all that sort of work that it's had done there, I think, to fit this C-Tech block, which is awesome. I mean, it's going to need quite a thick gasket, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that's really, really cool. So a lot of time and effort has been saved by getting this. It's hard getting sumps off with one hand, but there we go. One thing that I sort of read about in terms of these rear-wheel drive conversions on these ST Duratec engines and the Z-Tech engines is different oil pickups because of the way that the oil pan sits. And again, I think this is all there and it's ready to go. You can see some fabulous work has already been done on there. So it's just, yeah, time-saving technique. What do these look like? Everything looks really nice. Obviously, it's going to want a big rebuild, but you know, that feels really nice, really, really nice. I think that's what those bits in that box do. I think you put them around here, and they go up and down in those holes. These holes here, I don't know if you can see. The head, I think that cam cover's loosely on, yeah. Again, looks pretty nice, pretty tidy. Don't think it's supposed to make that noise. Oh, it's got the springy there. Is that the VVTi thing or whatever it's called? Very, very nice. Right then, and underneath, all the valves look really nice. And I can't remember what he said about these as well, but it might be something that we get tested, or we can do a sort of leak down test ourselves. But yeah, really, really nice. All looks in good nick, doesn't it? Looks like it's been skimmed and it's ready to go, or just really well cleaned. Yeah, I can see some of the marks of the Scotch Brite actually, so yeah, just really well cleaned, but very, very nice. And then yeah, you sort of, I've got tons of stuff with it. Got the decompression plates and 2 head gaskets, which I think one on either side of that. And then you use all these nice new bolts and things and you put it all together. And the reason you use these ARP stuff is because they don't stretch and things like the other ones might. And then when you use these, everything's held a bit tighter and better because you're using this. And then when you force feed it 20 psi of turbo, my sump just fell over, 20 psi of turbo, it doesn't end up becoming 2 halves. There's also in here another head for, where's the head? There it is. I think that's a 2 litre Z-Tech. So I've got an entire spare Z-Tech that does need a rebuild, but again, something great to have lying around if I ever want to do anything. Could Z-Tech the Spitfire, couldn't we? If it didn't run so bloody well. How you getting on over here, mate?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Nice. What's all that there? Is that for scrap?
That's for cleaning that. That's going to be like brand new next time you see that.
Excellent, can't wait. Just as we're squaring everything up here, getting ready to put Rob's engine on, I've noticed the diff on the truck is leaving a little dirty protest on the floor. But you know what they say, if it's leaking oil, it's got oil. We've got to get that on that. Do you reckon that little stand's going to support that?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay, let's do it then. Down tiny reds. Whoa.
Come on.
9 broom holder, we're in.
We're in.
We're in.
Home dry.
Home dry. Do it going forward a little bit more.
There we go. Making sure the pallet doesn't rest.
This is Rob's engine on a stand. It's a 1.8 MX5 engine out of a Mark 1. As you can see, it's a powerful one. It's got hop-ups. It did have a supercharger, this, didn't it?
It did. The bracket's still on it.
Oh nice, where is it? Oh there, look.
So there's your bracket for your supercharger, pulley system.
Nice. Professional setup, love it.
So yeah, supercharger will be coming back down because I want to get this all stripped down, tidied up, refreshed if it needs any work. Go and see John in the head shop, see how much he's going to damage my bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got us up against a fucking wall, John, at head shop, hasn't he? Hello, it's me. Look, I'm putting some stickers on the Tasty Classics Cupboard of Dreams. And these are all the cars from the last sort of, I don't know, 8 shows, 10 shows, something like that. All the really interesting cars that have come through these doors. Now, you can buy these stickers plus loads of other merchandise like the hats and the shirts and, you know, loads of cool stuff from, and the air fresheners as well. Don't forget about the air fresheners there, Ace. From the link in the description of the video. So if you find the description of the video, click the link, it will take you to the merchandise store and there buy some stuff, and when you buy some stuff I get money, and when I get money I spend it on things I probably shouldn't, like knackered old cars that nobody else would go anywhere near. So yeah, if you could do that, that would be ideal, and yeah, be great, very, very thankful. So here's, look at these stickers, aren't they cool? Look. There's the 820, there's the Saab. I've even got Discovery stickers, they're fun, aren't they? I really like the Rover P4 stickers, they're great. But there's loads of good ones. Okay, bye. What do you think of that then? Not only are we now putting in an ST170 engine into this Capri, eventually, it's also going to have probably a Garrett T28 on it, something like that. Which they say is good for up to 400 horsepower, but I think this bit probably isn't good up to 400 horsepower. Ideally, we're going to be looking at 250, 300, something like that. That'd be really cool, and more than enough to send this car into a lamppost. So today though, and pretty much for the rest of this episode, this is a long-term build. This is going to take me a while. I have said before, I don't want to rush it. I haven't got a clue how to do all this stuff, so it's a lot of learning and it's going to be fairly expensive. So I've just got to take my time, make sure I've got the money to do it and the time to do it. So I sent an email to John at the head shop yesterday, just before I left, and just said, you know, can you have a look at this engine for me, maybe throw some of it back together and just make sure it's good before we get it in the car. So I'm waiting for a reply from him, but it's going to take a little bit of time, but don't worry about it. We've got all the time in the world, and there's plenty of other stuff going on out there in the meantime. As we have discussed in the last couple of episodes, though, it's probably wise to get this thing on the road first before we start ripping engines out and stuff. That being said, I need to do some more welding. I just have to do welding constantly. That's my life. This bit down here is where it all needs to happen. As you can see, it's a bit sad. To get all this welding done, I need to take this door off, which is a bit of a pain. I hate taking doors off cars. This is the factory wing. I don't want to take it off and have to put it back on and risk, you know, getting something not lined up properly down here. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just leave it. I've seen so many Capris where the front engines are just completely pissed because everything's been on and off a million times because they rust. And speaking of rust, I did actually find this bonnet's completely foobarred. I was thinking of, you know, could I sandblast it? Could I repair it? It's just dead. You know, the problem I've got is it's rusty inside there, and so you'd have to like cut this skin off, get rid of it. It's not going to happen. So I need to find another bonnet. I did find one, and these bits have been fillered, and I could potentially sort those out. It's more that edge that I'm worried about because they always go on Capris. So I don't know. It's in Nottingham, which is like, how far something, like 2 hours away, so it's like a 4-hour round trip. It's could do it one evening. It's got potential. And he only wants 300 quid for it, so, and it is very clean and it is the right colour. Ooh, there's a live one. What's he up to? Yeah, so, is it bolt on behind there? That'd be cool, wouldn't it, if I could get to it from inside here. How does this fit on again? It's just pressed in, isn't it? A couple of little door bolts. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's handy. So we can unbolt that. That'll be a little split pin in there, take that out, and the door should come off. And hopefully I don't drop it on the floor. And then we can clean all this area up as well on the door and try and make that nice. Do you remember when we got this car and the interior was removed? I'm starting to think that maybe this is why they were going to take the doors off and do the welding, or have the welding done. Okay, that might be enough. It's all bolted on at the back just to get a ratchet in there. Yeah, I can see the bolts. Handy. Still quite nice in here, still quite dusty though. My guess is a 13. Oh yeah, come on. If you're enjoying any of this as well, if you could consider pressing the subscribe button, that would be really handy, because I would like 10 million subscribers by the end of the week, if that's possible. That'd be really nice. And I will endeavour, it's working, I will endeavour to bring out more amazing content. And, you know, more subscribers and stuff helps me to pay for things like the intro to this video. The production costs on that intro were about £240,000, so it's quite expensive to sort of, you know, run these YouTube channels. I'm liking the look of these as well, because there's no adjustment, which is cool, because I don't want to have to adjust it. I just want to be able to bolt it back on, you know, unless there is adjustment. Tidy. Can I get that out with a screwdriver, or do I need special tools? There's only one more bolt holding this door in. I hope it doesn't fall, but I have just put like a cloth down there in case that's going to do anything. When this lets go, it's going to really let go, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, the wires. Bollocks. Fucking hell, why is it so heavy? Oh. Oh God, the wires. Oh, hello. How are they connected? They're not on a plug. Well, they're on a plug. What are the wires even for? Speaker? I hate to do this, but I'm going to cut them. Stay there. Nice. I've cut them because they're not on a plug, and I am not about to remove the door card and the speaker and everything and feed all the wires back through, when I could just connect them back up again with a couple of little plug things afterwards. So the speaker wires. Da 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 da. Oh God, it is so heavy, that door. Can we make these doors lighter? No. It's going to have 300 horsepower, it doesn't need lighter doors. Okay. There we go, I've lent the door precariously on this comfortable rubber mat, and everything inside there is nice. And the good news is there's no adjustment there, which is awesome, so I can just bolt these things back on. Ain't having to adjust doors. But yeah, we'll try and give those a bit of a clean up and a paint before we do. This though, I mean, it's not the best, is it? Oh God, not the best at all. Good God, it's just gone everywhere, hasn't it? Right, I need to have a little think about what I'm going to do here. So I've had 10 minutes and 2 large tequilas to absorb what I'm looking at here. I've put some cardboard there, so if I am welding and stuff there, at least if the interior catches fire, I won't be able to see it. Now, I think the first thing for me to do is to clean this up, because it looks bad, because there's a lot of it that is really bad. So if I clean it, it might look less bad and I'll be less sad. I've got 2 repair panels. This one, sadly, see where it says right hand there? This is the left hand, and it is slightly different. I've just been looking at it, and it has a sort of a curve going in. However, we still might be able to cut it up and use it, like the bottom bit. If I can, you know, slice it and sort of bend it and manipulate it, we might still be able to use it. So I want to clean everything up and just sort of have a look. I've had a look online for other ones of these for the right side. So I saw this one here, and it's like almost 300 quid delivered, which is great. I don't need a lot of it, but you know, it would save a lot of messing about. But it's 250 quid. 250 quid is you know, halfway to, you know, or, but anyway, I want to go fast. I don't want to be structurally sound. So we'll do what we can with what we've got, and if I get to a point where I'm like, do you know what, I just want, let's just bite the bullet and buy the bloody thing, then we'll buy the bloody thing. But for the moment, and it, you know, I could spend ages making parts for this, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And anyway, let me clean it all up and we'll have another look. This is absolutely tons of fun, and honestly, if you want to just, you know, while away a few days, something like this, great. I'm invested in some like clamps and stuff for the camera, so they haven't arrived yet, but when they do, I'll be able to get you into the sweet action a bit more. I think I'm going to have to take the wing off. I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to sort of weld around it, but as I'm cleaning and getting in there, it's just, it's really bad. It's really bad around the edges and stuff around there. I can't get away with not doing it. I'm going to have to weld, you know, in there, and there's just no way of being able to do it, which is annoying. The wing isn't attached on the bottom anymore, and also if I come up here, I can tell it's not too bad there. At the front, I think there's a couple of bolts down there, and then spot welds, and then spot welds all the way along the top. I briefly looked online as well to just sort of see, you know, what you're in for taking the wing off. And a few people have converted it to a bolt-on wing afterwards, which is awesome. If I do that, it means there's going to be a level of adjustment, and I can sort of make sure that it lines up perfectly, because I do want it to be really nice. I don't want it to be a front end of a Capri that's all over the place, which is what usually happens to these things. So I might do that, and it means I don't have to weld it all back up afterwards. I can just bolt it on, which would be dead cool. I am going to have to take the wing off though. And also the front bumper does need replacing. The front bumper is very, very rusty and sad. Mission creep, but while we're here, we could do that as well. I don't like Mondays, tell me why. I don't like Mondays, tell me why. I don't like Mondays. You've got to break some eggs to make an omelette, haven't you? That's what they say. I don't know where they say that, but I'm pretty sure it is what they say. Ah, I don't think I'm going to have too much bother off those spot welds. It's going to be nice to get this wing off as well and sort of have a look underneath it and stuff, and maybe give it a bit of a clean up, or potentially buy a new wing, because remember I cut the bottom off it. Instead of spending all that time is money. How much is a wing? Could I do that? Do we buy a new A-post pillar? Do I just spend all of my money? If you could buy some like cool t-shirts and maybe like a hat or something, that would help, because then I can afford to buy the right parts and do the right job, rather than having to sort of make stuff do. Okay. What does this bolt do? Snap? Cool. Cheapest I can get a wing for is 200 quid delivered, so I'm not sure. I'm going to think about it. There's absolutely no way that bolt's undoing. Look at that there. I mean, what? How does that come off? What are you supposed to do with that? Use a drill? Okay. I mean, I'll try and, like, I don't know. It's just time consuming, isn't it? I'm hoping now you can sort of get the idea of why I didn't want to remove the wing initially, because I knew that it would be difficult. And the less difficult things you can do in life, the more happier you be. Oh. Shouldn't be. No, you're not. Oh, nice. It's the second one of these we've had to remove on this car. Will we put it back though? That's the question. I've had a look at the new wings as well, and they do come with those holes. But I'm still not sure if I want to buy one. Let's pull the wing off. No? Pull it off. Nearly came off that actually. There is a couple of dents on this wing as well. There's quite a big dent there, there's a dent there, there's a dent there. You know, it's like one of those things, 200 quid, but time-wise, am I going to save that back? One of the annoying things is it means I won't be able to get this video out to you this week if I order it. Which for you it doesn't matter because you're watching it now. For me it matters, you know. Try and do a video every Friday. Because it's going to take a while for it to arrive. I'm still thinking, I'm thinking. Quite high, isn't it? Is that too high? What have we got here? 1, 2, 3 very rusty 10mm bolts. Be amazed if any of them will do. Where's the machine for undoing bolts? There's no way, but we'll try them anyway, just for fun. Oh God. Oh my God, it's working. Come on, you fucking thing. Oh. What are you? I know what you're thinking, that I'm making this up, but I'm really not. All 3 of those bolts came out. It's a Christmas miracle. And yeah, the bottom is now, and up there. Because it's all rusted away, look, but we're going to ignore that because you can't see it anyway. Just this top edge now. Now if I was going to replace this wing, I would just cut along this bit and then remove this afterwards, much easier. Because this is a bit of a faff trying to get these off without damaging the inner wing. Anyway, let's see how I get on. Oh, aerial's still attached. Just keep doing this until whatever is holding it on snaps. Through metal fatigue, I think that's how planes crash. I mean, ideally, I didn't really want to have to do this, get this wing off. But, you know, at least I can get to that bit now and do that. And that bit, 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 and that bit. So, this bit here, when you buy the panel, you get a lot of this with it, but whenever I repair this, I'm just going to sort of cut it like that, so I'm not worried about doing anything with that while we're doing the wing. The inner wing, though, is absolutely fine, needs a little bit of sort of hammering back into shape and cleaning up and a bit of painting and stuff, but it's quite nice. This bit could be better. I mean, it's supposed to be sort of there, and it isn't really. I'll see if you can buy these, but I don't think you can, but I'm not that bothered anyway. It just holds the bloody headlight in, so yeah, and it'll all be hidden by the wing anyway. All this down here, fantastic condition, all really, really nice, so that's all good. That there could maybe do with a little plate over that where I put a plate on and didn't quite get into that there. But this now can be really looked after. And obviously that's the wrong side, so I can chop bits out of it and make good and things. So yeah, okay, let's look at the positives. Is there any? Oh yeah, cool. In terms of the wing itself, majority of it is in good nick, but again, you know, it is covered in little dents, which doesn't take long to filler. Inside of it's not too bad. Along there, again, a bit of hammering into shape would be fine. This bit here, again, isn't that bad. It's all really nice. It is just that bit down there for what I would be replacing it for. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I do want to replace it. I've just had a look at the pictures on the listing for this new wing, and it does come with what would appear to be this section here. So I'm going to buy the wing. But it might mean that in this episode you don't see the wing being fitted, but hopefully you'll see all this being welded up, because I'll do that now. Just doing some prep work now to sort of make everything as nice as I can before I start welding and bolting bits back on. Now, a lot of this was bent out of shape, so I'm now bending it back in shape, and I've invented something. This is the clamp that you usually use for your drill press to hold bits in that you're drilling. And see, like this bit there, how it's sort of, the angle grinder's just pushed a bit out, and see this here is all bent there. And I need to get it all straight. And I've just done this bit here by essentially clamping this thing in there, and it just makes it completely straight because it's just two things holding it together. And with that like that, I'm hoping now I can bend a lot of it back to shape without deforming the panel, because if I did that there, it'd just push the whole panel in. So that's quite cool, isn't it? So like, yeah, all nice and flat now. And so like this bit here that's all bent out of shape, feed that in there. All nice and tight. Nice. It's like if you're using a hammer and dolly, but obviously I haven't got the right one for going underneath that and stuff, so tidy. And it's all flat then now. And then when I put the wing back on, I'm going to bolt this and bond it. So we'll use Tiger Seal, and we'll get that, like they've done here with the original sort of undersealer. We'll just coat this edge and then bolt the top. And it'll be super straightforward and easy and take 10 minutes to do, is what we're telling ourselves. Nice, this is so good. See, this bit here is well bent out of shape, but watch this. My drill press, my drill bracket thing is just completely snapped in half. Wilson quality tools. welding's the easy bit. Honestly, it's just like the prep is miserable. I might go and put my gas mask on though, because people keep saying in the comments that I should be wearing it. But there's like a strong breeze coming through. It's not like I'm trapped inside a hole doing this. There's quite a lot of fresh air around me. And when you wear the thing, your glasses steam up, so I can't see what I'm doing. So it's either see what I'm doing or die of a heavy metal disease. And I don't mean like AC/DC or Metallica. Covered in shite. It's pretty much the end of the day, and yeah, I've sort of got to where I want to be, where like things are sort of fitting where I want them to, and they will do with a bit of hammering and stuff. Not too worried about any other structure than inside that, because that only sort of came down to there anyway. It wasn't really attached to anything, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm going to cover all this in sort of zinc weld through primer now. I mean, all this inner structure is a bit pitted and stuff, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to start cutting out and replacing the inner structure of the car. I'm just going to sort of do what I can. Loads of zinc primer. I'll get in from behind with wax oil. Once it's all done, I'm going to cover the thing in wax oil from the inside and make it, it'll be dripping. And then that'll sort of at least keep us going for many, many years to come. So now it's time for a bit of painting, and then when I come in tomorrow, it'll all be set, all be nice, and we can do welding. So all day tomorrow, lots and lots of welding, and if I can get, by the time I go home, if I can get all the welding done, ready to just bolt stuff back on, I'll be happy. There we are then, nice heavy dose of weld through. Time to go home, and look at all this progress. Doesn't it look great? Oh my god, what have I done to my Capri? Good morning and welcome to a welding day. I've just got myself set up with a little sort of patch up there that we needed to just rectify from when I did it from inside the bonnet. So that's all nice and strong. All the machines out, everything's ready to go, and I've just got to get my head stuck into this thing. So I was awake till 6 o'clock in the morning last night worrying about it. I wasn't really, I'm only joking. It's going to be dead straightforward and easy. I'm going to do this bottom bit first. This is the bit of metal what we're going to weld on, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's going to need a bit of sort of manipulating, a bit of finessing while it's on there, but it is pretty good. Just get the Birmingham screwdriver on it and just have the, yeah, like that's pretty cool. I mean, that is pretty cool. Almost tuck that in there. Yeah, it's right at the bottom as well. Am I connected up? It's one of those things that's like, just holding it there, that's like the best I've got it to fit. So far. Would you like to have a look? So that's in place and it looks really good. I know these welds aren't amazing there, but that's just going to be to sort of hold it in place, and I'll flat it down afterwards. And then I've got to drill some bits in those and go up round there. The same again, or I can just put little bits of ones on the edge of that. I don't need to drill them. But that's really cool, really nice. I just need to sort of, once I've done the bits that are touching, just sort of hammer that down and it'll pull it all nice and tight into place. And I'm gonna have to get on my back to do those, which is gonna be a bit sad, but that's quite nice. It's a really good starting block, that. So once that's all done, you're sort of getting into, right, I just need to cut this bit here out of that panel there, you know. So we've got a good chance of success today, I feel. Nothing on fire, no? Everything okay? Good. Do you want to look at this so far? So this is quite a nice bit of welding. You know, this car is more, I like this car more, so I'm doing a better job. But yeah, so essentially I've just got to do that bit up there, down here, which is going to be a bit of a blad, but I'll do that and then I'll show you. A couple of spots underneath there, and then we're on to this bit. It's not bad at all, and I don't mind sort of working up here like this, you know, in my chair. Loads of space, no ramp legs and stuff. It's a lot better. Underneath cars suck, but like this bit's not too bad. Not the comfiest welding on your back, I'll be honest. Is my hair on fire? The good thing about welding on your back is, like, when you're down there, all the sparks and stuff, they go in your ears, the corner of your eyes, your hair, everything's great. Okay, so we're done. And yeah, it needs a bit of grinding back and stuff, but it looks all right. Down here is, I mean, yeah, again, bit of grinding back, bit of paint, it's gonna look amazing. Stuff like that, we'll just, you know, grind it, it's gonna look fine. Shall I do it now, and then you can see you believe me? Much smarter. And this is all nice now. Still gonna do that bit there, but I'm gonna do it when I do this bit. And yeah, don't need to worry about covering those welds up. A, because, I mean, they're just super sexy, but you're not gonna see any of this, so it doesn't matter, does it? That's really nice. Proud of the progress so far. Now I've got to start thinking about this, which is possibly easier said than done, isn't it? So obviously, this being the right hand side one, it's a little bit non-fitty. Now I wonder. So you can see this panel where it would usually be is sort of like there. I want to keep these where they are, and this is the original panel here, so I kind of just need maybe that bit across there, and I can sort of push that in and then weld this bit onto it. So I need to cut, and I could cut along there as well, that'd be fine. I just need to take the bottom off it, and then we can like cut it up and just sort of reduce it and reduce it and reduce it and go from there. When using one of these, you do need to employ your safety squints. So the question is do I cut the original to match, or do I cut this to match where we've done? It'd be much easier in terms of sanding to weld it there as opposed to on a corner. You want to try and keep that corner nice, and you're not going to do that with just sanding. You could, but not as easy at all. You sort of like move the bit of metal round until it sort of feels like it's in its most sort of locked in and comfortable place. Like for me, it's there. I might go in a bit further than that just because I don't want to be near this line here. So I might just take that down a bit. Oh, it's done. Just leave it like that, it's stuck. Just glue it on. Yeah, it's going to take a bit of tapping and shaping. But I think we've got the idea. Nice. And again, nobody's really going to see it. It's going to be hidden by the doors. So when it does end up as a bit of patchwork quilt, as long as it's solid, it doesn't matter. If you're doing any welding on cars, don't worry about like what people think of you welding. Just get your car on the road. As long as it's strong, as long as the MOT man goes, that's ace. That's all you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about someone who's got like millions of pounds in a garage and they get, you know, they're doing Porsche 911s with TIG sticks and doing all this because they're getting paid, you know, huge amounts of money to do 1 quarter panel, and it takes them a week to do a quarter panel. You know what I mean? It's just very different horses for courses, you know. This is not a £150,000 Porsche 911. It's an old Capri. These are the most expensive things in the world, but they're also one of the best. They're like £1 a disc and they last about 30 seconds. But when you're doing stuff like this, it's just so unbeatable. Where did we get up to? Going to give this a bit of a clean up. Hit it with a nice dose of this from behind. Just look directly at it when you're doing it, okay? Okay, and down there I can just put a buzz. Where's my hat? Very nice. That's what we like to see. This is old metal. I can tell. The way that's just gone there, it's beautiful old metal. Like, that's a dream to work with that. Really, really nice. Where's the little wire brush thing? Have you seen it? I'm just going to do a little bit of manipulation. Finessed beautifully. Nice, 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 nice. I think that's going to be enough for me, to be honest, on there. Any more and I'll be playing with it. So that's what that looks like now. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm just going to tidy these up now with a machine and then I'll show you. There we are then. I've sort of gone to town on making this look all nice. Once it's had a proper sand and a bit of paint and stuff, you'd never know. And that's the idea, because you're just going to look at that from the door and be like, oh cool. All this, I don't really need to worry about grinding them back that much. It's just got, you know, if they look like that or that, it's fine, because nobody's going to see that bit. So there we go. Let's make some more bits and work our way up. Getting really close now, and oh, always remember to turn the gas off. Yeah, looking nice. Getting super solid behind here. I've just got this bit to do. I've got to get a piece in here, around there, there, and a little bit on that. Potentially the hardest bit. I mean, these have been pretty straightforward. It's just been, you know, cut that thing right down. There's not much left of it at all, but maybe enough to do something with. I don't know. Either way though, I'm pretty happy with it so far. It'll need a bit of dressing and then a bit of primer, some black paint, and it'll be good to go. The welding, she is complete. It looks great. I'm dead happy with that. You know, it might look a bit steampunky patchwork quilt, but this is what you've got to do. It's only taken me a few hours, saved 250 quid, and even then, you know, you'd still would have had to have done loads of work to get that panel in. And this is nice, and I've got the original places for all the hinges still in there, and it's solid as a rock. So really, really good. I've got some, I'm happy with the welds. I don't mind leaving them like that because they're nice welds, but I need to sort of I need to flatten them down a touch just to make sure that I'm not fouling the hinges, basically. And if I'm not fouling the hinges, I'm cool. So I'll probably just take these bits down around here and these bits up there, because I don't want that to fail the wing when that goes on, and the door. But yeah, really, really nice. So I've got a bit of grinding and stuff to do, which is always a bit of a pain in the arse, but I'm going to do that and I'll show you afterwards. And you know, we're only that hole at the back, the hole under the floor, away from all of the structural welding being done on this car, which is just, well, it's bloody brilliant, isn't it? Because that's always the worry with an old Ford, that it's going to be rusty as hell, which it was. But once this is done, that's it. It's only cosmetic stuff after that. And if by the end of this episode I can get those two patches done, new bumper fitted, if the wing arrives before Thursday night, we'll get that fitted as well, but I'm not holding my breath. We'll possibly be doing that in the next episode. I've got some other stuff I need to be doing. I've got quite a lot of cars lined up. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need more space. I've got a few things I want to finish off, but I've got 1, 2, potentially 5 cars that are needing resurrecting. It's all good fun, isn't it? But it's nice to have a long-term project just in the background that I can really sort of, you know, put my own stamp on. Right, let's get these welds dressed. It's mad how quickly the day goes, isn't it? But I'm all done here. I'm ready to just give it a tss with several different things. Zinc primer, normal primer, gloss black. But yeah, it's all nice. All these bits here, you can hardly tell it's been welded. I mean, it just looks great. This is, you know, customer facing, isn't it? This is what people are going to see, so it needs to be half good. And then down there as well, it's going to be all nice. Yeah, it's going to be cool. And then this bit, obviously, you're not going to see. All this has been taken down up there. Again, you're not going to see that because the wing and door goes over that. So I'm going to give it a bit of a spray now, and we'll have a look. I like this stuff because it sticks really well. It just adheres to bare metal better than some of the other primers, you know. I'm not worried about seals and stuff, by the way, before anybody's worried that I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, but these are going to get replaced when we paint the car, so I'm not too fussed about them for now. Ford should have done this at the factory, shouldn't they? But this now can be really looked after. And obviously that's the wrong side, so I can chop bits out of it and make good and things. So yeah, okay, let's look at the positives. Is there any? There we are then. I mean, doesn't get much better than that, does it? Really, really pleased with that. And it didn't take as long as I thought it would, you know? I mean, it's just nice little job. A couple of days work. Granted, I've still got to put a bit of stuff back together. But yeah, really nice. You know, this is what you're going to be seeing, isn't it? And I mean, it just looks factory fresh. And these are all nice, decent, strong welds. I'm happy. Really good. Really, really good. So I've got to get door back on, put the wing on, change the front bumper, do those 2 welding bits in the back, and then in the next episode of this, we might be running it down for an MOT once I've sorted some weird lights stuff. And I think, did we try the wipers? Did they work? I can't remember. But I think, yeah, it could be MOT time. Do you think it'll pass? Hope so. Before I left yesterday, Al had popped over for a brew and to bring me some goodies, and he helped me put the door back on. There was adjustment in it, and it was a pain. But the benefit of having the bolts inside is that I managed to hold the door perfectly in position while he was inside tightening the bolts up. So now it's perfect. I've just been to Wigan to pick up maybe the next Left 4 Dead car. Or are we going to do that sunbeam? We need to do the sunbeam, don't we? We need to clear that shed out for another video. Anyway, best way to get these axle stands out is like grabbing a nettle. You know, you just got to, you can do a sweeping leg kick. Should we try that? Where you sort of just go, didn't work, like that. Have you seen in that Austin Powers film where he has to do that like 300-point turn? Got to do that now because truck's in the way. I can't bother moving anything, and I've got to get this thing backwards up on the ramp so we can start doing that stuff. New number plates to go on at some point. That's fun. Okay, I've fully half-arsed putting that back together. Just need to give it a clean, but I also want to get in with some wax oil and stuff on there. So let's call that done. Nice. Still no sign of this wing. I didn't think it'd turn up too quickly. It's just really big, isn't it? I don't even know how it's going to get here. Crazy. Right then. There's a hole under there. So I'm going to take that screw out, peel everything back, and then up on the ramp time. This is the hole that needs a fixing. So I'm going to do it from underneath. I could do it from on top. I have been thinking about that, but I don't want to get too much splatter and stuff in here. You know, I don't want to risk burning holes in things. So what I'm going to do, in rather a genius move, is I've got this box look and something like that. Nice and snug in there, so any splatter or anything that comes up through the hole is going to be sort of encased in that, and it's not going to go on my nice sort of immaculate interior. A little bit less immaculate than it was. Dust everywhere. So much dust in this car. I think TGB, before this goes down for an MOT, I think I'm going to ask him to do a big sort of full hit on this thing again and just try and make it as clean as it can be. On the last video, right, where we welded all this back bit, which is looking good, still needs a bit more filler work and stuff, but it's looking decent. It's not started to rust back through yet either. We took this off. Now this goes on there like so, like that, and it's held there by two of these. The problem is, when I welded the new plates, the holes that were there have now vanished. So I need to make square holes for these to go bump and then twist like that. The only problem is I don't know where to cut them. Handy thing though, these are on little sliders and they slide, so they're not, you don't have to have it absolutely perfect. They can move. How good. So I think the best thing for me to do is to put some like white paint on these bits on the flat face when they're sort of on there and in the middle. A bit of white paint, put it on there, press it onto the car, and I hope when it's all level and stuff it'll leave exactly where I need to cut the holes. That's the idea. But I'd have to cut the holes the other way so they lock into place. It's complicated. Let's have a go. Nice. So it's not perfectly level on the other side. Just use this. It sort of goes down a tiny bit. So let's see. I mean, this might take a couple of goes before I'm happy with it, but let's just sort of see. So that's that. I mean, it naturally wants to just sort of sit. It's kind of where it was on the other side. Ooh. We have a couple of marks. So they are supposed to look, I'd imagine, a bit more like that. If we then check that these are okay by going, right, from top to bottom, we're looking at 30mm, and on top to bottom there, we're looking at 30mm. Could be on for a winner. Now the only other thing is they can't be like that, they need to be like that. So if we find the sort of centre, yeah, okay. So I need to sort of drill, and it doesn't matter, remember this way doesn't matter because they're on sliders. Great. I need to now cut these out. How am I gonna, with a drill, my little Dremel? Oh God. Let's just start here. Had to go through quite a lot of filler, that, didn't it? I wanted to do this now as well because this is all going to sort of have another go over and it's going to be painted and all that sort of stuff. So it's better to do it now than when it's all painted and stuff, isn't it? I learnt that from the Spitfire. Let's do one at a time, and then if I fuck this one up, at least the other one's going to be okay. Bigger drill bit, I think. Nice. This may take some time. I'll do it and I'll show you. I've done one. Let me show you. So one is in. Will it come out again though? I hope so because I need to paint it. Yes, came out nicely. It's quite a large amount of filler, and I'll be honest, it's only going to get more. But it's nice metal behind it. Every car's got filler in it. Don't worry about filler. Filler's not a dirty word. Okay, I've got to do exactly the same down there. So see you in another 45 minutes. Turns out, because you've already done one, the second one's a lot easier. Tidy. That one's still a bit stiff. Needs a bit more, but I'm happy. I'm just going to paint these about 9 times so it doesn't rust. And then we'll put these on, put that on. And that's a nice job ticked off that I wasn't really that keen on doing because it's complicated. I don't like measuring things. And then I've got to do a hole in this as well to hold that on. Shall I do that now? I could do, couldn't I? Let's put holes in this bodywork. Just waiting for the paint to dry on those in between coats. Now, behind here, there was a hole where a bolt goes through to hold this on. When I put this new skin over it, obviously that hole on the outside has disappeared, but it should still be there on the inside. I can't get my head in there though to check. But this mirror with lights my mum got me for Christmas. And we should, if I find it, be able to see. Can you see that hole there? How good is that? What an amazing bit of kit, so I don't have to get mud in my hair and I can find the hole. So I'm going to drill it out and then put a screw in it. Nice. Wasn't planning on doing these jobs, but I did them. That's great. I now need to go underneath and do some welding. Going to do this one first because it's the easiest. I'm just going to grind all this back, make it all shiny and put a plate over it. Simple as that. The hole just kept getting bigger. I've got a bit more to cut out here and cut this little bit out. Loads of zinc primer, plate over, and that'll last for, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, hopefully, in this lovely British weather. Do you mind just looking out for me? Just if this sets on fire, just give me a shout. Thank you. Shouldn't be anything in there to catch fire, really. Oh yeah, apart from all that really flammable foam. Cool. Really tempted to have a go at this exhaust as well while I'm here with the welder. Should have just fiberglassed this bit, shouldn't I? Whoa! What a wonderful job. I'm just letting it cool down before I do this little bit here because that's the last place that I can blast air through, so I'm just going to let it chill out for a bit and I'm going to do it nice and slowly. But yeah, that's looking good. I could rub it down, but I'm not that fussed. I'm going to wire brush it all, and then because there's seam sealer, big chunks of seam sealer, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to put loads of seam sealer all over it, and then we'll give it a gloss black and it'll look all nice. It's just occurred to me as I've been waiting for things to dry and messing about with stuff. This exhaust, so one of the reasons why I wasn't too happy with doing it, because ideally I want it to sort of sit a bit straighter, which would mean cutting a bit of this out. However, if you think, like I've only just done, once all this stuff is together, which I'm hopefully taking up to head shop next week, I'm going to have a turbocharger pushing big gases out of this thing. And that means that I'm going to need a new exhaust. I can't use that pea shooter. I'm going to have like a nice 2.5 inch custom stainless all the way through or something like that, which would be well cool. So this, whatever I do with it, is only really temporary, just needed for the MOT. So what I can do is just sort of tack it in place. And then I found this is just like a thing that I had in stores. So that can go on there. And then I can sort of, it's really hard to film and stuff. And then I can bend that round like so. And just put a couple of tacks on there like so. And then that'll hold it nicely in position. So I'm going to do that, and I'll put a couple of tacks in there, and that's it. Job done. And we can hear what the bomb sounds like. Temporary exhaust is temporary. That's that nicely sort of done up there. I'm just going to give it a paint once it's dry. Last bit is this bit hither. So I'm going to grind it all back and just get cracking. Hopefully it won't take too long. I think all of the welding's done. Until we go for an MOT and he sticks a screwdriver through some holes. That's all done up there. I don't know if you can see, but it's all, yeah, very nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And over here, just put a bit of seam sealer along this edge. But yeah, that's all welded up nicely there as well. So I'm going to continue to give these things bits of paint, but I'm going to drop the car down to do the last job, and an interesting job. Get this front bumper off and start remoulding the other one. Didn't mention as well that bloody Mazda's got a flat tyre. Far from ideal. How do you get the front bumper off on these? God, that one's equally as bad, if not worse, on the other side. Drill.
Sometimes it's not worth even attempting to take them out, just go straight to the drill, you know. I was thinking as well, like, oh, buzzing all that welding's done, I can now have a bit of a, you know, few weeks break from doing any welding, because I just welded up all that Mazda, that was loads, and then done this, loads. But then I realised the next video that I'm filming, I need to do 2 sills on it. Impressed that I've not used all the gas. Impressed that I've not used all the gas yet, though. Tidy, okay. Ooh, that one's nearly bloody come off. You see that? Thankfully it hasn't though, and it is still there, so small amount of bending back to shape is all it needs. Oh, it's like brand new again. Right, so I can see these indicators are held in with 2 very rusty screws, which are almost definitely not going to come out. Just run out of plus gas, so I'm going to have to switch to the far less good WD-40. God, there's quite a few bolts actually holding this on. How are these held on then? Do they just pull off? Ah, yes. This one was bolted. At least I can sort of take that one over to the vise and cut it off. So I've got some exciting news. So you know the elections are coming up soon. Well, I've decided that I am going to stand for Parliament. And my manifesto is going to be, I haven't worked out what the name for the party is going to be yet. Probably something to do with cars. My manifesto, you know how you've got an outside tap at home? So every house in the UK is going to get another tap next to it, which is for petrol or diesel, depending on whichever one you use the most of, and it's completely free. So that'll be the first thing that I do. Then I'm going to ban all battery cars, because who wants one of those? So I'm going to ban all battery cars and free petrol for everyone. So that's the first 2 things on my manifesto. I'm still working it out, there, and how to pay for it and stuff, but it's all doable. Oh, we're turning. Doesn't sound nice. Come on, we are turning. We have a bolt out. Lovely jubbly. Still got the plastic bolt holder things on there, so I'd like to try and get those off and use them again on the new bumper, so we'll keep that.
Did a snap. Tried and failed. One of my other things in the manifesto, policies, I don't know what they're called. Probably something I need to work on that if I'm going to run for President of the UK. Welding to be taught in primary school. That's going to be get people into welding early, because there's just not enough, all these old cars, because of the rust, are all dying. So teach welding in primary school. Going to have to use a special ratchet for this bolt here. Safety squints. Chickened out, put the glasses on. Because it's getting a bit violent. Oh yes! Oh, I thought it snapped. This one's flying up. Taking this bumpers off is easy. It's off. So yeah, got like one fixing there is okay. That fixing there is okay. That fixing there, I need to cut that off. That fixing there is okay. So we're all right. These things, I've had to cut them off there. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about those. But yeah, I'll give these a wire brush and then a bit of paint as well, so they don't look so bad, and clean all this bit up behind it. I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but this I got with a car, and it's ace, so handy, but it is completely bent out of shape, which is a bit frustrating. It's all right, it's malleable, it's fairly thick though, but I'm going to try and get it straight so we can bolt it onto the car. It's a lot tougher than it looks. Trying to do it without hitting it with hammers or anything, you know? Because these were £100. Doesn't matter if I scratch it, because I'm going to paint it, but looks thinner than it looks thinner than it is. It's a lot thicker, it's a lot stronger metal. If I can use this to sort of like clamp some of it in place, maybe. Oh. You've ever been like staring at something for like 10 hours and then you're sort of, you don't know what's up or down anymore. Sort of getting like that with this now. I'm getting a bit of snow blindness. I think it might be time to call it a day. The bumper's on though, and I mean it's on. The overriders, I'm going to have to drill them out and like helicoil them or something to get them on. Just total madness, annoying. So it's going to take me ages to do that, and I'm going to do it in the next episode. And this bumper might need to get replaced. So look, if you enjoy watching me F about with an old Capri, hit the subscribe button. It would help me massively to be able to afford to buy a new bumper, because this one's foobarred. Because stuff's expensive. I've already bought the new wing. It's not even here yet. Right, okay. Before we go, let's drop this thing down on the floor, see what that cherry bomb sounds like. Sounds amazing and looks just superb. And that's my fourth sort of manifesto policy thing. Large exhausts on all cars from 2025. Okay? So if you'd like to vote for me in the upcoming election, I'll let you know if you've got any ideas of what the party name could be, let me know. I'm going to need some advisors in the cabinet as well, so if you think of any of the YouTubers that'd be fun, let's start a car-based party. I haven't got time for that, I haven't got time. Okay, got cars to do. Speaking of which, we've come along so far in this episode. Pretty much all the welding's done, it's only a bit of cosmetic welding left. Horrible job, didn't really, it's just one of those things that just get it out of the way, get it done. Wasn't keen on doing it at all, but it's done now. In the next episode, it's going to be more funner things, like getting the MOT done, doing more bolt on, bolt off electrics, so just, lots of nice bits, and hopefully taking it on the road for the first time, which would be amazing. And I've got so much cool stuff coming up out there. Went and picked up the Left 4 Dead the other day, and yeah, it's a first time for that manufacturer on the channel. It's a modern classic. I really like it, and I can't wait to get stuck into it. I'm going to look at some cars on Saturday. Got another car I'm bidding on eBay that's down in Llandrindod Wells. So just loads of stuff going on. But the next episode coming out on Friday, after this one, you just have to wait and see what that is. But we're giving one of the other cars out there a bit of attention. Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Oh no! Oh, oh God!
Welcome to episode 3 of the Ford Capri. Welcome to episode 3 of the Ford Capri.
Yeah! That was a bagger. Oops.
Some fucking lard arse dented the bonnet.
Slard arse was that? Ah.